Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? It's Anthony Gutierrez. I'm making a video and it's not going to have a topic. I'm just going to run on a theme. And the theme is the possibility of denying God's full plan or foolproof plan, and that's his perspective and the perspective of the entire galactic community, which the terrans are not part of. And when we say terran, we're talking about anyone who is living on the surface of the earth at this time and is not a god. You know if you're not a god. Now, God does take over our bodies, and they all take over our vessels. So in a sense, we are a mere vessel with very little essence or knowledge of the galaxy. And that knowledge of the galaxy and the knowledge itself, which is knowing, and the knowing is an infinite, eternal, antiguous place where the vessel, the energy vessel, which is a double body, the light version of us, stores those records, or where they could go to find the records in a collective of beings. And since we were only made 5,000 years ago and not told, purposefully not told, of the truth of life, which is something that is a vast topic and one that I don't think I could cover in one video. And I'm going to keep making videos periodically to try to update this, and also to give myself time to put this into perspective, because I know this stuff and I know where I am. It's just the knowledge isn't easily translated, and especially in a video it's really hard to. Sometimes the collective mind could upgrade everybody and they could sense what I'm talking about, but the truth is it takes experience and a depthful mind. You have to have a real given ability to eternalize this stuff and put it into a mental perspective. And even the words and terms we use are lower words and meanings. They're not even the truest high divine proportions of what is meant by these words. It's like using a slang word when we even say mentalism or crystallized structure, or all that stuff is silent knowledge. The body knows it and interprets it. The words are not even a full vessel or a meaning, because one word could have more than one meaning, and so you could tell that it can't be easily conceptualized or processed or photogenically memorized. So some of the things I have here is illusion, experiment. And when we talk about illusion is a state that terrans live in by not living in a reality state where they are living from their silent knowledge. And even if I say silent knowledge right now, it wouldn't be understood. Silent knowledge is not just a feeling, it's like a in-depthful feeling where it's like when you gaze at light and you see every part of the light and know it has its own part, and know its journey, and know its past and its beginning, and the presence, its present state, and all the things that are included in the law, from fluidity to the balancing of its higher and lower parts, and all those things that are included in the law of the universe. And then we also, so that the illusion is where terrans live, and we're removed from reality. So the illusion could also be found. You can find charts on it on the internet, or you could talk about it yourself and realize that the illusion is a self-reflective state where the knowledge just comes to us and we're cut off from anything else but what we are given, and that comes straight from the gods every time. Even our stupidity is given to us from them. It's hard to fathom for some people, but the reality is it's a tough reality, and it's even beyond predatorial, because they're a big predator. All we could do is deny them from destroying us or eating us, and you'll still lose, and then you'll still have to fight. So it's a very tough position to be in, and sooner or later all of humanity will either bow down or they will fight. Those are two ways of going about it that I know. I myself fight all the time. I know I'm subjected to going along with these things, and even against your own goodwill, the fear of being in a perpetual state of getting destroyed will make you want to live again and love again and deny yourself, and then it's a never-ending cycle, because then you'll go back to knowing what you stand for and your beliefs. And I'm not just talking about a trivial belief like all life is important. Yeah, all life is important, but all people die also. But what about the genocide of an entire species and the experimentation on an entire species, which is what is going on here now on this globe? You know, there are other humans, and or terrans, but you want to use the word slave. You want to get used to knowing that our origin arises in slave, and that there are slaves in other cultures, and slaves could live well, but just not here on earth. That's part of the experiment, is for God to use our vessels and to jack our awareness and always keep us broken down. And if you look around, you can see people are broken down, but you won't get a good enough view, because the gods will stop you. They have you stuck in a crystalline structure, which is based in illusion of relived processes of other people, other beings, higher minds, the smartest people, well-roundedest people, people chosen by God. And they have that going all the time on all kinds of levels. They always have, even celebrities get in on this stuff, and government, everyone gets in on it. You know, so no one has clean hands, you know. Even myself, I don't have clean hands, and they're made and forced filthy by higher beings. Even you that are listening to this video has that same dilemma, and that's what we got to get past one way or another, one day or another. Okay, so I want to move on, because I want to make this video 15 minutes or less, just so that no one would get too bored with it, because the info is such a high upgrade from what you may know. To bridge that gap and to have all the metaphors or edifice in your life of the manifestation to make it possible is really hard. And I'm talking about the manifestation of your own intention to perceive what I'm talking about, which is just a matter of having the free energy and accepting the pressure of the unknown against you, which is a reality. And those are some things also we're denied, which the world is very beautiful. Like the universe is a beautiful place, except for when you're forced to believe that your only lot is to be a slave. And I'm going to go in a circle again and say, slaves on other planets and other times had it good. Not even a bad place to be. And it's never good to be a slave, but I'm just saying, I'm trying to make a didactic view of the two states. Both of them don't sound good, and both of them sound bad at the same time, but you can see what I'm talking about. So reality has a path. We have no path right now. We're always fixated and broken down and stuck in commands that are no good. You know, everyone needs the commands of helping your own self out, and we don't have that. We have an illusion of it, which is removed from the path. Okay? Now I have here written down dead bodies. No reality to die without everlasting life is a sin. Okay, so the dead bodies is a metaphor for the fact that right now everyone's living in a broken state, and no one's getting full knowledge, and everyone should always have knowledge. Any being ever made should not be without knowledge. But this globe and this planet was isolated and not taught on purpose. All beings should have a higher self and a higher purpose, and it's just a crime not to. So that crime and that sin was given to us. So you feel stupid. You may feel smart sometimes, but you could always make yourself realize how stupid you are. And that stupidity, we push it away into a dark place and say it don't exist. But that sin was put onto us by the gods, by isolating us so they could use our bodies and vessels. And when you're acting stupid and you're not doing anything right, they're still manipulating and controlling our awareness and our energy, which is what they're after. for their own purposes of adding to their collective and their grid and expanding their cells across the universe. And this goes into a higher battle, but at the same time, that command was not exactly perfect either. They say it was for a battle against their enemies, which are the Draconians, but that was just a route they chose. They didn't have to choose that route. They chose, and then they say that's the only one that we'll talk about, because that's all we give. And it's not only talk about, that's all they'll bring up. Okay, so as sin puts us on our lost reality by gods. Okay, I just talked about that. From Elohim to gods to starseeds to space kids on the surface of Earth. So the Elohim are, there's one in each section of this galaxy to the center of the galaxy, or which is also a black hole. Center of the galaxy is a black hole. And just like on this planet, we have Thoth, the Atlantean, which is the Elohim, which is the nominated leader who oversees, and his mind is the ruling force. And these 7 Elohim, and as you go closer to the center of the galaxy, there's an Elohim at each major planet or area, just like there is at Sirius. And I'm not too familiar with every single part of the galaxy, because I've never studied the names per se, but I know there are 7 on the way to the center of the galaxy. And there are even other galaxies here, like Andromeda is a galaxy, even though it seems like it's part of where we are, which is the Milky Way. See, all beings in the galaxy know these things. They're all taught about stars, and they know exactly where they are in the universe. But we barely were told that the fucking planet was round, you know, less than fucking 500,000 years ago. And we're even led to believe that all kinds of stupid things. You know, I don't want to go into that, because you could slap yourself if you feel stupid. I'll slap myself too. I do it all the time. You have to realize how deep this goes, you know. And at the same time, no one reading this video can help themselves per se and defeat this, but you could pass it on to your children and not forget and not become so ignorant that you won't help your next generation out. If you can't help yourself out, look in the eyes of a kid and just say, I don't want him to be God's bitch. I don't want them just to become a slave to God and obey and take all the scraps that they're led. I'm telling you, my roommate feeds his fucking dogs the best scraps you could imagine. He has 2 pit bulls, and he feeds them good fucking food every night. I had an ex-roommate, and that dude never fed them 1 table scrap, and only fed them dry dog food that was no good for them, and always gave them stomach problems, all kinds of problems. So, you know, this may give you problems to know this stuff, but at the same time, you may want to know this. You know, I wouldn't want to be ignorant. I would want to die in a good way. This may be good. Galactic terrans, unaware of total view. Yep, that's what we are. Okay. And stuck in illusion. We're still living in illusion. The whole planet's an illusion. We're in one mind. And it's not the mind of a human. It's the mind of God, Thoth. And then there's different layers out from Jesus, which was Elohim. Don't get confused with the name Jesus. He's an Elohim, the next after Thoth. Then above him is Hylo-Ryan. You can watch Galactic videos, and these people are making videos still and dropping some sort of information. I don't know what the hell it is. You know, we should be a respected being for what we are, not a material object. Right? Word. God didn't give knowledge of what life is to terrans. Yep, covered this. Okay. They were and abuse us. They use and abuse us. That's what you feel stupid, you got headaches, you had this, you had that. They took over the world and took over all our brains from 2000 to 2003. And we forget all our past knowledge or anything that we even knew from those decades or those minutes. That's what they do. Split decision for I can't read my own writing. Split decision for leaders who forge ahead. Everyone's got to know they're still going to have to be stuck in this for so much, but you could resist and keep finding ways to resist as you remember. So, love to our own You know, do your own self right, do your neighbor right, do everybody right. Even if you got to mentally assassinate some people because they don't get it, you assassinate them enough, they're going to wonder why. Because they can't just accept everything that we can't accept everything that the gods give us. That's a crime, and that's a sin to yourself. Don't sin to yourself. Even if you have to, find a way not to at the same time. Or do it in the next moment. Do it the next day. Never forget. Tell somebody verbally. Okay, thank you.